Welcome back to the Sanctuary series. It's time for some off-the-wall science fiction. This is the third story in the series. Please remember these stories were written for a YouTube audience and I try to stay within a 15 to 18 minute mark. I hope you enjoy Sanctuary 4. Science is one of the most amazing stratagems of man. As part of science, medicine has pushed the boundaries of what we know and believe possible. With new vaccines and medications created every year, there is little doubt the Holy Grail will be found within the next few decades. A vaccine or medication that can cure almost if not all disease. But, let's remember we are all humans, we can make mistakes, and in the world of the sanctuaries, anything can go wrong. Dr. Vale, Oren, be careful, we don't want another setback. The last mistake almost cost us a year of research and if it happens again could make us lose our funding altogether. Oren looks up. Michael Tedeschi, I'm not ignorant of the issue, I have worked to ensure no mistakes. Mike walks over. I know you have, and I'm happy to see you so motivated. I just want you to take your time, you've been working very fast and I just want this project to be successful. I trust in you, that's why you're still here, don't overdo it. Oren smiles. I understand, thank you for the support. 1 month goes by and the testing has gone well. A small rat, bred to have cancer, has completely healed from its cancer with no signs it ever had it. Blood samples are being taken by Dr. Vale, when the rodent, reacting to the pain of a needle, bites Oren. He drops the needle and it shatters on the floor. The rodent, still in a cage, starts to growl at Oren as he shuts the cage door. As Oren starts to bandage his wound, the alarms start to sound. Alert, alert, all members to the support stations, this is not a drill. Oren runs to the nearest support station and hops into his hibernation pods. As the last members of the science team enter pods, Sanctuary 04 goes dark. Fast forward 16 years, Sanctuary 10 is active and is in the processes of finding new sanctuaries to explore and activate. So far 51 sanctuaries have been discovered with 32 sanctuaries in unusable condition. There are 19 sanctuaries currently active with most of North and South America checked, all of Europe and part of Africa. 1 sanctuary is left in North America, Sanctuary 04. It is in the southern US and may contain a retrovirus that could cure cancer, at least that was the last report. Sanctuary 10 is sending Team 01 and Team 03 from Sanctuary 12 to investigate a received message from Sanctuary 04 requesting rations. Gentlemen, it's time again. We have very little intel on this mission. Sanctuary 04 is completely dark. According to records, a retrovirus called RV22 is available in this sanctuary. As we have found in other sanctuaries, there could be life pods intact, so our first order of business is to clear the facility, then revive anyone still in a life pod. After which activate the AI and negotiate joining the sanctuary network. If any circumstance is not in place after clearing the sanctuary and finding no one present, activate the AI and connect to the sanctuary network. You already know the drill. If non-combatants are discovered in the sanctuary, it's theirs. Negotiations must start immediately. Any questions? No? Good. Lead Richardson, is you team ready? Richardson nods. Yes ma'am. Jen Lee Walken steps into the light. Good, you will be joined by Team 03S14 will join you en route. Mission start is in 1 hour. Good luck gentlemen. The team leaves the briefing room as Matt Dillon walks up to Jen. Jen, how have you been? I haven't seen much of you since your and Claire's wedding. Jen smiles. We've been good, and I feel I'm over the events with Sanctuary 01. Honestly, I'm glad you all were able to activate the guns when you did. Matt smiles. That was more Mark 1 than us, but I'm glad he did too. Claire and Director Norton are in the operations room discussing the mission to Sanctuary 4. Jacob looks at Claire. I'm authorizing the use of the AATCs for this mission. They will need them to get across the Great Mississippi Channel. Agreed. Claire marks off a checklist. The GMC hasn't been charted yet, so we should give them extra fuel for the water jets. Do it. Jacob notices Jen. Claire, your wife is here. Claire turns. Hey hun, what's up? Jen smiles. Just finished the briefing to Team 01. I hope it goes better than S01 did. Jacob chimes in. It will, Jen. The team has had time to reflect on their mistakes, and with Richardson in charge I feel it will go well. Jen nods. Yes sir, I just hope the team can hold together. Matt and Richardson have been butting heads. Jacob laughs. For good reason. Richardson has been pushing Matt hard, and I feel Matt has improved because of it. They'll do well. The team moved into the transport bay and finishes loading up the extra supplies for Sanctuary 04. They enter the AATC and start their mission. Over the course of 4 days, they make their way over the Midwest Plains to the GMC, where they will stop at the beach in awe of the massive channel in front of them. Matt starts to laugh. Where the hell did this come from? Mark II answers, its cause was an earthquake that was off the Richter scale. It caused a split to travel north to the Arctic Sea, and south to the Gulf of Mexico. The water from both has filled the trench, creating a massive channel between the western half of North America and the eastern half. Richardson speaks up, that's why we have the AATC, it's amphibious, it will allow us to get across. The team re-enter the AATC and move it into the water. They convert the vehicle into ship mode, and sail across the channel to the mountain range on the other side. On the beach, the team stops and awaits Team 03 from S14, who will assist them in their mission. It's late and the team have set up the AATC's dome. They sit down to eat while Mark II observes the area. Matt speaks up, I'm worried, I haven't had this feeling since Sanctuary 01, we need to be careful and prepared for anything. Richardson smiles, Matt, don't worry, this mission will be easy. There is someone there. I was informed by Director Norton that a communication came in on the old SOS channel. Whoever it is needs food and medical help, that's what the supplies are for. Matt and Rahul look shocked. Why weren't we told? Richardson sits forward. Because of protocol, we don't know who it is or how many there are. We must be careful. Therefore we limited the number of people who knew about the transmission. It didn't need to get out. Otherwise there are a lot of people in the camps who would want to be in this sanctuary and would take it upon themselves to try and enter it. Rahul pipes up, it's still unusual for us not to be told, it's like you don't trust us. That was never the intent. Richardson rubs his forehead. Hell, I wasn't told till I asked about the supplies. They were gonna tell us over the radio after we left. So, don't feel so bad about it. As for Team 03S14, they will be informed by me when they arrive. Doc Keller speaks up, I understand, if it got out another sanctuary was available with no one in charge, there would be a mad rush to get to it. It's happened in other continents. It's better to just keep it secret till we have control over the sanctuary and then open it to the public. Matt sits back, I'm still worried, I don't know why, but I can't shake this feeling. The team finishes their meal and returns to prepping the vehicle for the mission. The night goes without issue and in the morning Team 03S14 arrives. In short order their vehicle is prepped for the mission and the two AATCs roll out. The teams make their way southeast, the mountains, to the location of Sanctuary 04. A day later the teams arrive at the sanctuary entrance. Richardson looks confused, I don't understand, it's still sealed. Mark II walks up to the door and enters the unlock code for all sanctuaries. The door opens to a dark hallway. Matt looking confused, the sanctuary is dark. How can that be? Richardson jumps into action. Okay everyone, standard entry procedures, this isn't making sense, so assume hostility, watch for weapons, civilians are not casualties, so be mindful of targets. The teams enter 01S10 first, then 03S14. The two teams make their way clearing rooms one by one, finding no one as they go. About halfway through the facility the group turns down a hallway to find what appears to be a man standing in the dark of the hallway, the lights from their weapons barely lighting the figure. Matt starts to move forward to the figure to see if the individual needs assistance. Sir, Matt speaks, sir. As Matt steps within arm length of the figure, the man turns quickly, jumping on Matt, knocking him to the floor. The man then starts to bite and tear at Matt's throat. The teams are in shock. Immediately a horde of bodies come into the light, charging the teams. Some of the bodies attack Matt, slowly tearing at him. As Matt screams to shoot, one of the creatures grabs him by the chin, pulling with its feet, pushing against Matt's shoulders. It rips his head off, throwing it towards the teams, hitting Rahul in the chest. The teams immediately open fire on the horde as Matt's now lifeless body is torn limb from limb. Over the course of an hour the teams are forced to fight hand to hand with the creatures through the hallways, losing 4 more members of Team 03S14 to them. Rahul himself takes down at least 20 by stabbing the creatures in the spine, head, and neck with a Bowie knife. The team comes up to a clear side hallway and in the confusion is pushed into one of the labs, where they manage to seal the doors. Mark II stands in the doorway to guard the entry, as the teams take account of their numbers. Richardson, visibly in shock, what the fuck was that? Did you see what they did to Matt? How many are there? Holy fuck, we are fucked. Rahul grabs Richardson by the shoulders. Man, calm down, take a seat, we'll figure this out. Doc Keller speaks up, they look like zombies. How the hell did zombies become a reality? The lead for Team O3 from S14, Samuel Chapman, steps up. Look, I know this is strange, but there must be a viable reason for it. At the moment, the why isn't the issue, it's how do we get rid of them. Richardson ranting, they're fucking zombies, we need to get out of here and seal the fucking door, that's how, we don't need to be here. Richardson gets up and charges the door trying to get past Mark II. Rahul trips him up and chops him to the side of the neck, knocking him out. Rahul shaking his head, man, Richardson is losing it. Chapman looks around. Mark IV, strap Richardson to a chair and then let's see if we can get some lights on. A few minutes pass and the team have managed to turn the power on in the lab. They start to search the room to see if there is any way to hack the system and get the AI online. After an extensive search, the team finds a life pod blocked up in the corner of the room, covered in boxes and equipment that looked like a pile of thrown debris. The life pod is still active and the person inside is still alive. Chapman looks around. Mark IV, see if you can activate that life pod please, we need all the information we can get. Mark IV jacks in and links with the onboard CPU. She then informs the team of her findings. The pod has been in stasis for over 16 years pre-collapse. The individual inside is Dr. Michael Tedeschi. He was the lead scientist on the project that was established here. He seems to be in perfect health and has no obvious traces of the zombieism outside. Chapman considers the situation. Can you revive him, Mark IV? Mark IV nods. Yes, the pod is fully operational. I can revive him in about an hour. Chapman rubs his face. Do it, revive him. While we wait, everyone, we need to eat and rest. Let's get to it. An hour passes in silence. Everyone is trying to wrap their minds around what has happened. Mark IV pipes up. The pod is opening, Mr. Chapman. Pressure vapors escape from the edges of the pod door as it releases and slowly opens. After a few seconds, the door has fully opened and the occupant slowly opens his eyes. Turn down the lights. Ali, turn down the lighting. Ali. Who's there? What's going on? Where is the AI? Chapman speaks up. Mark IV, dim the lighting. Sir, I am Samuel Chapman. I'm the team lead for a group of soldiers and doctors from Sanctuaries 10 and 14. We were sent to this facility to assist an individual who had messaged us via Morse code, requesting food and supplies. I'm telling you this because we know you've been in the pod for at least 16 years. I know this is a lot to take in, so if you have a seat over here, I'll try to explain what I can. Dr. Michael Tedeschi steps out of the pod and sits in the chair. After a few minutes, his eyes have adjusted, and the lighting has returned to normal. Okay, from what I see, this room is completely torn up. This was my lab. The cage over there had a rodent in it prior to entering the pod. I need the rodent's body eventually to finish my experiment, but not at the moment. I'm curious as to why the AI isn't online, and I'm sure that something bad has happened, so, let's start at the beginning. You said there was a message and it brought you here. Was the facility still sealed? Chapman nods. Yes. Tedeschi scratches his beard. Okay, I'm assuming your androids are programmed with standard codes and that's how you got in. As for the situation, I must assume the virus we were working on is the cause of this, whatever this is, due to the fact that it's the only out-of-control measure in the protocols. So now it's time to ask, heavy breath, what has happened that has reduced your teams to the number of 7? I'm guessing there are 2 androids due to the possibility that there were 2 teams. Chapman, leaning on a table, steps forward. Okay, we have a problem. This facility is full of what can best be described as zombies, creatures that only die by damaging their spine or head. They attacked us and are super fast and extremely hungry. We have lost 5 members of the 2 teams we had entered with. They also seem to be somewhat intelligent since they seemed to plan out the attack, forcing us deeper into the facility and blocking our escape. I have to assume that these were members of your team. They all have what appears to be lab uniforms on. Dr. Tedeschi sits up in shock. Really? That's odd. That doesn't fit the virus we created. It was a cancer virus designed to attack cancer cells and destroy them. This sounds more like a hyped-up form of rabies or some virus like that. I need to find the rodent. I can analyze the bones to see what type of virus was actually injected into it. Doc Tedeschi jumps up and starts rummaging through the room looking for the skeleton. Then Rahul looks at Chapman curiously. Chapman glares back saying, okay, everyone help out. Tedeschi pipes in, use gloves. After 3 hours of searching, Rahul finds a rodent skull. Is this it? Tedeschi runs over. Yes, that's it. The teeth were filed down in the front because it was a biter. Let me test it to find out what happened. A day passes with the team managing to tap into the camera system. They spend their time watching the zombies walk the halls. Doc Tedeschi and Doc Keller are working on the analysis of the skull. Rahul speaks, why aren't they leaving the facility? I mean, the door is open. Tedeschi laughs, they know you're here, they're hungry. Okay, the analysis is done. From what I'm seeing here, the virus has a component I don't recognize. It's what the cause is. Doc Keller interrupts, that's rabies. I've seen it before in this type of analysis. Your team created super rabies. Tedeschi sits down and starts to rub his head. How did this happen? We were so careful. Chapman walks up and puts his hand on Tedeschi's shoulder. For now, the rest can wait. I have a plan. Mark IV, have you determined if the AI is still present in the system? Mark IV turns to Chapman. Yes, sir, it is. Chapman smiles. Can you activate it from here? Mark IV responds, no, sir, it must be reactivated in the core. Mark II speaks up, sir, if Mark IV takes my place, she can block the door while I go to the core and reactivate the AI. It would only take a few moments to get there, and I'm certain the creatures will leave me alone. Chapman turns to Mark IV. Mark IV, can you do it? Yes, I will have no issue, Mark IV replies as she moves into position behind Mark II. The door opens and Mark II quickly moves out the door as Mark IV steps into place and the door shuts. The team watches and Mark II makes its way through the corridors to the core of the facility. After a few moments, he enters the core and links into the core. Suddenly the facility activates, lighting coming on and the cameras shut off. Gunfire can be heard throughout the facility, and after a period of 3 to 4 seconds the shooting stops and the doors open. All of a sudden, the AI activates in the lab. Sanctuary 04 is cleared of combatants and is ready for activation. The bodies are being cleared as we speak from the hallways. Mr. Chapman, your team members' bodies will be returned to you after assurances they are not infected. Dr. Tedeschi, some of the bodies will be turned over to you for examination. Chapman speaks up. Dr. Tedeschi, according to protocol, you are now in charge of this facility. Tedeschi stands up. Ali, please link to the Sanctuary system and send a report of the events to Sanctuary Prime. Chapman speaks up in response. Ali, the report needs to go to Sanctuary 10. Prime has not activated. Report from Jacob Norton, Director. After reading over the report I've received from Sanctuary 04 and speaking to the surviving members of Team 01 and Team 03, I've made the following decisions. Rahul Ramsingh will be promoted to commander of a new series of units to be created. These units are to be trained in hard entry tactics and will work with each team that will be sent out. Samuel Chapman is to take the place of Mr. Richardson as lead to Team 01's 10. This is due to his actions and subsequent need to be strapped in a chair. Dr. Michael Tedeschi is wanting to step down from command of Sanctuary 04 to return to his research in the development of a cancer cure. I have agreed to this. Sanctuary 04 will be placed on temporary seclusion until the entire surrounding area can be searched and cleared of any escaped zombies. Addendum. I have been informed by Dr. Tedeschi of the events that lead to the subsequent zombie outbreak. It would seem that a poorly adhered label was to blame for the adding of the rabies virus to the cancer virus. This action was the cause. The trigger was the collapse and events that followed. As Dr. Oren Vale fell victim to his bite, the virus attacked his brain, causing the health assistance procedures in the sanctuary to activate. This led to Vale escaping the medical ward and releasing the other members of the team on Sanctuary 04, one by one infecting them as he went. The team finally started to damage the systems in the facility, attempting to get others into the facility. One of the last zombies infected managed to get off the Morse code message to Sanctuary 10. After reviewing Dr. Tedeschi's research, I am allowing him to continue under the supervision of Jason Long, who will replace him as head of Sanctuary 04. There have been several funerals this week. Matt's, it was the hardest. He was in the first group to enter the sanctuary and even at that time was defending and helping others. He was a good man and an equally good elite. He will be missed in this facility, and I can only hope I hold to the same standard that he did. For now, we are looking over the protocols in an attempt to assure this does not happen again. Team 1 is once again listed as offline until a new lead and new elite can join the team. Dr. Keller has also requested a transfer to Sanctuary 04 to assist Dr. Tedeschi in his project. I'm considering it. After Sanctuary 01 and Sanctuary 04, I feel he has earned it. Director Jacob Norton, signing off. Thank you for watching. The next video I will be working on will be Space Station Alpha. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. Thanks again.